Naruto Part 1, that entire series, she did absolutely nothing.
That's what you think. Like I
Yeah,
showed you.
I mean, honestly, in the forest of
Guys, welcome back to the channel. I did a discussion video with two of my subscribers on the topic of Naruto, specifically about Sakura, because they were both massive Sakura fans. When I say they're Sakura fans, I'm not talking just a typical Sakura fan. I'm talking die-hard fans. They came prepared in this call. The call was great. Ended up being 2.5 hours long. They were both fantastic. Like, they knew their stuff. Now, me personally, I don't really like Sakura, and it's not just Sakura. I think really Kishimoto just sucks at writing good female characters. But yeah, it was a very interesting discussion. I really enjoyed recording this video. So don't forget to give it a like if you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, if you do want to get involved in the next discussion, then all you've got to do is get in contact with me, and we'll take it from there.
足を引っ張るなよ、ナルト。そうよ。細かいこと言ってる。と、私が火影の座踏んどるわよ。さくらちゃんまでその気？今度は背中合わせで行くわよ。綱手様、私やっと2人に追いつけたみたいです。
That is pretty much what 90%, the vast majority of the Naruto community think of Sakura. But I know two people that will disagree with that.
Yes?
Yep, we can hear you.
Alright, okay, perfect. Then let's get this interview started. So the topic we're going to be discussing today is going to be Naruto, specifically about Sakura, because I know both of you are Sakura fans. Okay, so let's just start by introducing yourselves. Anna, you can start first. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Anna. I'm 24 years old from Romania, and I've been an anime fan since over 10 years ago.
Okay. Is it Nidu? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, it's Naidu.
Naidu, sorry. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Introduce yourself.
Okay, so I am from India. I'm 22 years old. I've been watching anime since the last 10 years. And I think one of the first animes I watched was Naruto. So I work currently as a fashion designer.
So you guys like you're big Sakura fans, right?
Yeah.
There's the majority of the community in general when it comes to Naruto. Everyone seems to think Sakura's useless. What do you guys say to that?
One of the first things that I can say that the anime cut Sakura out of some scenes. Like, remember the Zabuza sword when they got attacked by Zabuza the first time?
Yeah.
In the anime, Naruto defends himself. He finds a way to just dodge it. In the manga, Sakura's the one who dodges him.
Really? Wow. Okay. Right. That's interesting.
I know a lot of hate Sakura, but many of the reasons that they hate her are wrong. And I think most of them have been debunked. They say that she's useless or she's a weak character. But if you remove her from the story, a lot of supporting characters and even the main character wouldn't even be alive. And this is not just about her healing abilities. She's also strong. She has Yakugo, 100. Strength of 100 steel, and she's pretty strong.
Okay, so I disagree with that, because the seal that she got that towards the end of part 2. So for Naruto Part 1, that entire series, she did absolutely nothing.
That's what you think. Like I showed you.
I mean, honestly, in the Forest of Death arc, when both Naruto and Sasuke are like passed out, I think it was only Sakura that saved their life. Because I mean, she was weak as fuck, but she was able to defend them for as long as she could, given that she knew she wasn't strong. She did everything.
She also saved Sasuke in part 1 from Gaara.
Yeah, and from the seal, the curse seal, when he starts becoming like super psychotic.
Yeah, she calms him down. So, alright, okay, so maybe she has done a few things, but she hasn't done anything major when you compare it to other characters.
I don't think that that's actually something so important to compare her to the other characters. I'm not. When I look at Sakura, I'm not comparing her to what other characters did. I'm looking at her character and I'm trying to see what she did rather than compare
I
her
think
to.
part one Sakura was meant to be weak and underused by Kishimoto, so that when in Shippuden she came out and she went against Katsuki member Sasori with Chiyo. That was like a big moment.
Yeah, so yeah, I completely agree. So when I was watching Naruto Shippuden and the opening arc of the show was Sakura fighting Akatsuki was a big thing back then. So I thought we was gonna get more, but then after the arc, she kind of stabled a little bit in comparison to Naruto and Sasuke until obviously much later on. So what do you guys think about that?
Oh,
So,
actually, I think. Okay, you.
Yeah, so I first started seeing the fight between Sakura and Sasori, and I thought this was gonna go like for 1 episode, 2 episodes, but this thing went on for like 8 episodes.
Yeah, it was
and
pretty
the
good. I'm not
longest-
gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a really good fight, and it was the longest fight in the whole show. And I mean, my impression of Sakura was that she's a badass, the whole thing, and she got the information on Orochimaru's hideout stuff. But then I don't know what happened. Kishimoto did not use her that much, and in the pain arc, like she's yelling and she's calling for Naruto. That was I don't know what
That was perfectly normal, and I
Yeah.
can explain why that was normal for her.
But people overlook the fact that she was meant to not engage in the fight and go and help the hospital and the casualties and the civilians who were dying. Kakashi almost died.
Yeah, I mean,
Koji-
Konohamaru did more in the fight against Pain than Sakura did, and I feel like Sakura at that point was much stronger. She could have contributed more than she did.
She wasn't stronger. That's the thing that
No,
a lot of people
I
don't
feel like,
understand about that.
Sakura took out one of Pain's summoning. I think the centipede summoning or whatever. Yeah, so she did that. I mean, I'm not saying that Konohamaru did any less, but he was confronted by that. Which Pain was that? I think it was the animal.
No, I think it was the one, the soul one. I think it was.
Oh yeah, the soul one. So I mean, if Sakura was in a position like that, I'm pretty sure she would have stood her ground.
Yeah.
The thing is about that the Pain arc that she was already exhausted. In things like this, she was out of duty. She helped Shikamaru decode the message because I don't know if this is actually shown in the anime, but in the manga it's shown.
Yeah, yes.
Shikamaru decoding the message, then the pain starts, the pain arc, let's just call it like that. She puts down the centipede, saves a little girl, gets an order from Iruka to go to the hospital. She keeps killing people until the moment she almost is out of chakra, and then out of the blue, the whole village is blown up. So
Yeah.
she barely had any power to move.
And
And
even
think
with
like
all
this.
that,
She needed to store chakra while all of this was happening. All of part 2, she was storing chakra inside of the Byakugo. So basically she wasn't near at full power. She was never at full power.
Yeah, she might not have been at full power, but I still believe, she could have still did more. I think she might. I think she could have took out maybe 1 or 2 more pains if she tried.
I don't know what you mean by
that's
that.
that's what I said in the beginning. That I think
Because I think.
she said specifically that medical ninjas are not going to engage in battle.
Yeah, unless they have the Byakugo. Because
Yeah.
they can heal, they can save lives.
Yeah. Okay. I guess if you look at it that way, then
This is exactly why I honestly don't understand people who watch anime and this scene was specifically shown in the anime. Why would we take that and say that Sakura did nothing? I mean, come on. Are you gonna go against the orders of Hokage and get in the fight?
Actually, I'm not sure if I might be mistaken here because I've not seen it in a while. But I might be wrong. But I believe when Tsunade said that medical ninjas don't fight. That was when she was fighting against Madara, which is much later on. Or am I wrong?
No, it was established right in the beginning. I think of Shippuden, when Sakura is remembering her training.
But even if it was established right at the beginning, that's just a convenient way to write Sakura off from basically doing many of the fights until the very end.
Probably.
The main thing I hear when people mention Sakura is the Sakura's got two major powers. The first power is to cut her hair, and the second is to summon Naruto or Sasuke. what?
Well, the cut hair is actually a tradition. Quite called a tradition for girls. I don't know how many people actually understand this, but in ancient Asia, a person or a warrior having his hair cut meant that he was a failure, which is why if you actually look at Madara, how long his hair was, meant how many victories he had.
It also applies to Hinata because she's a failure to her plans of cutting her.
Yes, while Sakura is in the modern way. Cutting her hair was cutting off her insecurities. Stop being shallow, stop being, I don't know, a fangirl or whatever.
Okay, that's fine. So going back to Sakura then, the major problem, because I'm not a Sakura fan, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like Sakura. I don't hate Sakura, but I just personally find her annoying. Only because I think she's one of them characters that you just complain about her situations, but then she will do actively nothing to change the situation she's in. So in part 1 of Naruto, half the series she was just playing with a fish. She didn't really do anything, even in Naruto Shippuden. And she got the training and she was actually somewhat useful. After that arc, after the first fight, she pretty much she took a back seat again, and then we see Naruto actively training and stuff, and she's doing nothing. She keeps just giving him food pills.
Sorry to tell you this, but the manga is called Naruto, not Sakura.
Yes.
So the only character we ever saw train was Naruto. We never got Sasuke's training. We never got anybody's training.
But we knew Sasuke was training.
We also knew that Sakura was training.
In part 1 she was training, but her training literally was the whole of part 1.
So there are like really tiny things about Sakura that I noticed in part 1 was, you know how she's the first one to climb the tree and she has perfect chakra control, and then Kakashi's like, she would rather make a better Hokage and she would quickly become a Hokage compared to you, Naruto, and stuff like that. So people don't notice that, and they also don't notice when the whole Indian arc, like Sand Village was betraying the Leaf Village, and I think everybody was under some genjutsu.
Yes, it was the first one. Genjutsu.
Yeah, she was the first one to break it and save, and she was able to get Naruto and Shikamaru out of there.
Shikamaru was never in the genjutsu. He was actually the only one.
Just what I said. It's not my show. You deal with it.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not doing this.
But yeah, characters like I personally like characters like Naruto who are actively never giving up, always striving to do the best and stuff. Rock Lee, characters like that. But characters like Sasuke, when you're watching an episode and half the episode is just her talking about her insecurities and will literally do nothing about it, I don't. That's why I don't like Sakura personally. But what do you guys think of that?
Yeah, because that.
What I personally feel is that I think the Sakura training under Tsunade part should have happened somewhere between, like, in the middle of the part 1.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, in part 1, Naruto leaves Konoha 3 months after the fight between him and Sasuke. In those 3 months, Sakura is already made progress.
Yeah, even in part 2, I think she should have had more role. Because the only major act she's had in part 2 before the final act was the first act against Sasori. After that, she was just, she did nothing major until the final act, and
How you read the
I feel
story,
like,
actually.
there are so many characters in Naruto. Initially, Sakura, she saves Sakura's life. She defeats Sasori with the Chiyo, and then she's able to. Eventually, Chiyo is able to save Gaara. So I know how that plays out, but then again, there's so many characters, and there is Sasuke fighting Itachi, and then them finding out about Orochimaru and stuff like that. So many things are happening. So I don't think every character apart from Naruto and Sasuke is gonna get that kind of attention.
And then
And you know how
it
much,
goes like this.
yeah,
so many filler episodes in between those arcs that it makes it so inconsistent.
Yeah.
also yes, Naruto we seen actively training. Same with Sasuke. Most of his training is off screen, but we know he's training, and we know when he gets a new power up, it touches eyes and etc. But Sasuke, for the most part, we see her and she's just watching Naruto train. That was my biggest problem with Sakura. So she had a big progress in part 2, the opening scene with Sasori. After that, she didn't really play a major role again until after the war, towards the end. And when Sasuke and Naruto both get the six past powers, and she's standing with them. She's like, I'm finally caught up with you guys.
That's something different, and it's actually covered in the fourth data.
I think Sakura's training was shown in the manga and the anime in the first part, and in the second part, I think there was a small portion of an episode where she talks about how tough her training with Tsunade was, and then we get to see it. I think it's on YouTube.
Right, but
I wanted to say something else. The summoning, the slug, the snake, and the toad.
Yeah.
They were introduced first in chapter 4 as a manga cover. That is a reference to rock, paper, scissors. One cuts the other. Sasuke doesn't have healing. Sakura and Naruto, actually Sakura has. Neither Sasuke or Naruto have Sakura's intelligence, they have more power. This is what it means by equality.
Exactly.
It means that two don't have what one has, and you need each other.
Yeah, so teamwork basically. You cover each other's weaknesses.
I mean, she's not trying to claim that she's godly and as powerful as them, but she's saying that she's at least reached that level to call herself as an equal as them, maybe.
Yeah, so
let me give you a better example. If you go on the street and you see two men, one is buff with muscles and one is skinny, the difference is that the skinny one might be smarter than the buff one, which makes them equals.
Yeah.
not necessarily, because even the skinny one, if you have overwhelming power, no matter how clever you are, there's nothing you can really do.
No, this is the kind of equality that it's implied. That one doesn't have what the other has.
Yeah, and then again, when Sakura's talking about, I'm glad I've been able to, I've caught up to them and stuff. She's also, the next scene that happens is the summoning scene and the three-way deadlock. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So, it clearly shows that she is at their level. Obviously, she wasn't gifted by the stage of six paths and all the godly powers and everything else and the bloodline limits and the Kekkei Genkai and stuff like that. I mean, she worked hard to reach there.
This is what it meant there to be their equal at their level. It didn't mean anything else. I don't know why people don't understand the simple concept of rock, paper, scissors.
I think they should have explained it a little better in the anime.
Well,
Well, actually, it didn't need it to be explained. It's explained exactly by the deadlock. You
Yeah.
basically need
And,
to...
and you know how all the other Hokages are looking at them and they're saying, you know, they are just as powerful as the previous Sanin, the
Yeah.
first generation of the deadlock.
yeah. Well, I think Naruto surpassed Jiraiya back against Pain, and Sasuke surpassed Orochimaru long past that. So that's if she means if she meant a metaphorically way of I've caught up to them, then that's fine. But me personally, when I was watching the anime, it kind of gave me the impression that she meant like she's on equal footings with Naruto and Sasuke.
That's not what it meant.
And you know, there's a scene where the first Hokage, Hashirama, I think this happens before Sakura declares that she's just as powerful or whatever. She
Yeah.
says that, you know, her strength is so massive that it might surpass even Tsunade. And you know, he says that, and then Sakura does the 100 seal thing, I think, or was it before? I'm not so sure.
No, she activates the seal, punches the first Zetsu, then she destroys the battlefield. Hashirama sees it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she declares that, you know, I'm glad I've caught up with them.
Yeah, but I personally still think that scene would have made more sense to me, or it would have been more epic if she had a few more feats or achievements under her belt at that point. Or if she had another power up, because at this point, Sasuke and Naruto had loads of power ups, and she didn't.
Also, when she said that, Naruto and Sasuke did not get power ups.
Well,
They got the power up after.
Yeah.
no, the point I'm making is, so Naruto got trained by Jiraiya, Sasuke got trained by Orochimaru, so they both learned their techniques, and they've surpassed those techniques and changed them. But Sakura has got trained by Tsunade, and she can literally do what Tsunade could do, but slightly better. She didn't.
Quite. Depends on what you understand.
I mean,
Sakura
So-
also has
Okay, let me explain. So Naruto, he got trained by Jiraiya. Jiraiya taught him the Rasengan, and Naruto went above that and made the Rasen Shuriken, and so on. Sasuke is the same, but Sakura, she has the seal, which Tsunade has the seal. She didn't.
No, I think that a lot of people misunderstand that. Tsunade was born as a Senju and an Uzumaki. She got the seal trained by probably an Uzumaki. Sakura came from no bloodline. By itself, acquiring the seal as someone that doesn't have blood or immense chakra, it's surpassed, because she did something that no one else in the world
I
did.
know how.
Yeah, she doesn't have the immense chakra, but she did spend the entire part 1 and part 2 building chakra though.
I don't know what you want to say right now. You constantly gather chakra even in your sleep. She never stopped training. She was constantly day and night awake in battle. She was training.
Yes, no, I understand that, and I think it's actually quite impressive. But I'm just saying, all she did was master the training. She didn't take it to the next level. So Naruto and Sasuke both mastered their training as well, because their training isn't exactly easy as well. So Naruto learning the Rasengan was very difficult for him, and Sasuke was the same. So their training wasn't exactly easy. Their training was hard, but they overcome that, and they surpassed that. But Sakura just mastered that training, and she leveled up and didn't really.
I feel like calling
Naruto and Sasuke is training hard is not justifiable because Naruto has like a big ass fox tail, like the whole nine-tailed fox chakra, and he eventually was able to master the Rasengan and the Rasen Shuriken. And I think this is when Kakashi and Yamato are training him. And I think within the episode itself, or within 2 episodes, he's able to master it.
Yeah, he mastered the Rasengan in 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't easy though. He mastered it in 1 week, but he still struggled.
I don't know how you mean by struggle, since the fourth Hokage, his father, needed 3 years to create that jutsu, and Jiraiya mastered it in 1 month. So I don't know what you mean by hard. I think he got it the easiest.
No, well, he didn't. Well, he was training all day. Is that consistent training? That is how it works. If you try hard enough, he was determined, and he was training every single day for a week. He wasn't, trying a little bit here and then resting. He was just consistent, and he kept. And in the second part, when he was mastering the training with Yamato and Kakashi, that he only mastered that in 2 episodes because he was doing the clones, and that was speeding his training up. That was the only reason.
Who else can do that?
Well, no one.
See, Sakura can't just learn a technique like that in 2 days, because she cannot make 100 clones of herself. To just read everything in practice everything in 1 day.
Yeah, it isn't so much as the problem, how long it took her to master it. The problem is that she didn't make the technique her own. So Naruto made the technique his own. So did Sasuke. So Sasuke learned the Chidori from Kakashi, and he literally upgraded that, and he made the Karen, and he got the
Kirin?
Yeah, Kirin. Sorry.
A lot of the attack jutsu, she only has brute strength, and I don't know how she can make that her own in her own way. But Mystic Palm and healing jutsu and the mitotic regeneration ability, all of that, I think it just showcases some of that.
Yeah. So my point is, so Naruto is much different from Jiraiya. So is Sasuke is different from Orochimaru, but I feel like Sakura is a carbon copy of Tsunade.
It's actually the opposite. Let me tell you something. How the characters were built. The first 6 characters in this order was Naruto, Iruka, Hiruzen, Kashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Konohamaru. So everything that Tsunade has was Sakura's, is actually backwards. Tsunade was built on Sakura, and since the slug thing was actually introduced in chapter 4, is that everything that Tsunade has belongs to Sakura. This is how exactly Kushina was built. Kushina was built upon Sakura. He took everything from Sakura and gave it to Kushina.
Okay,
So,
that's interesting.
Anna, I kind of remembered what you were saying about the 3-way deadlock, rock, paper, scissors situation. So I think you were referring to snake eats frog eats slug, and then the snake's venom, which is obviously greater than the frog, it doesn't affect the slug. So I think that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's folklore.
Yeah, so one eats the other.
Yeah,
Nothing is better. None of them are better than the other.
While Sasuke and Naruto have those attacks, Sakura has the intelligence. While Sakura and Naruto have immense chakra, Sakura has it in the seal and Naruto has it from the fox. Sasuke doesn't have that, and it goes like that. That is what equality means. Yeah. Also, the hardest jutsus to learn in Naruto are not Chidori, Rasengan, or those are medical ninjutsu. It's actually stated in the manga and in the data books that the hardest thing to master is medical ninjutsu. There ain't anything harder.
Okay. I thought that was the Rasengan.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought Jiraiya said.
No, it's medical ninjutsu. The Byakugo is considered the pinnacle of chakra control. There's nothing else that surpasses. I think it's in the second data book, I may be mistaken, where it said that even the slightest mistake you make, it can end up in the patient's death. 1 second you lose your focus, you can kill that person. Goes into comatose and no one can save them.
Okay.
Okay, right. Okay, I didn't know that, but that's interesting. I always assumed the Rasengan was the hardest one to master.
No. Medical ninjutsu, actually, it's even stated in the anime. When Tsunade talks to Shikamaru, she said that a medical ninja needs knowledge about everything. Needs to have precise chakra control and dedication. Constant dedication. Every day you learn something new.
Okay.
I always need to
I kind of remember that Rasengan is not the hardest to master because Jiraiya states that it is an A rank advanced jutsu, not an S rank. And
Yeah.
Yakuzo is an S rank.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, yeah. So, okay. So if I ask you what's the biggest achievement that Sakura's made in the entire series, what would you say?
I don't understand what you mean by achievement.
The biggest feat in a way, the biggest thing that she's done in the series, the most impressive thing she's done.
I might go underrated. When she went to ask Tsunade to train her, if you remember correctly, Jiraiya offered his training to Naruto, and Orochimaru also did that to Sasuke. Sakura was the exact opposite. She saw how Tsunade was, she saw what she can do, and she went to her with all her determination in her eyes and asked training.
Actually,
For me,
no.
that was-
Jiraiya didn't approach Naruto. Naruto approached Jiraiya.
Nope.
I'm sure it was Naruto that approached Jiraiya.
In the anime.
No, I'm pretty sure because during the tuning exam, so Naruto is supposed to be getting trained by, I forgot the teacher's name. The one with the Ebisu.
Ebisu.
And then Jiraiya is introduced then, and he knocks him out. And then that's when Naruto approaches him and asks him if he can train him.
That's how the anime played.
So what was the manga version of it?
I don't remember exactly, but I know for sure that Jiraiya is the one who offered his help to Naruto.
Okay, so it might be different in the manga then.
Yeah.
So you think Sakura's biggest achievement is actually asking Tsunade to train?
I don't call that an achievement as much as I consider that going to the leader of the village and demanding training. And she just looking at her for a second and just, this girl is something. I'll train you, okay.
What would you say?
That takes some balls to just go to
I
this.
think my answer to this question is that Sakura's biggest achievement is becoming stronger and saving the hundreds and thousands of lives that she saved, be it in the pain arc, be it in the war arc. I think we forget to mention that during the war arc, she identifies the white Setsu, who's disguised as Neji, and that way she's able to save a lot of people.
Yeah, she also did research on the Zetsu.
And I think she's like the director general. I think she's the head of the hospital, Konoha Hospital now. So that's a really
medical
big
department, not just the hospital, the medical department.
And then she establishes a hospital for kids with mental issues from the war. That is a big achievement. And again, then there's a novel about Sakura after the blank period, or was it during the blank period?
During the blank period.
Yeah, so she defeats Kido, this guy who has the ability to clone and wear a nine-tailed fox cloak with Sharingan abilities, and she's able to defeat that guy. I mean, obviously, this was never animated.
Okay, so I'll need to check this out then because I don't really read the manga or the novels and stuff, but I'll have to check this out then. Okay, so does she defeat him on her own or with assist?
Her own.
Okay, so that should have happened in the anime then, because that would have been very impressive.
Yeah.
So that's
the way she defeated him was actually pretty smart, and we learned something about actually every character in that moment.
I think if they would animate this fight, it would really make it obvious what kind of strength level Sakura is at. Because, I mean, she's defeating somebody who has both the powers of the Nine-Tailed Fox and the Sharingan and everything.
Yeah, so I think something like that is what Sakura's character really needs, because if you analyze it carefully, other than healing characters and stuff, she hasn't really had a major win against a villain in the series. Yeah, she's got brute strength and stuff, but when's the last time you actually see a villain that she can actually hit and doesn't dodge? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely something that her character needs. Okay, so just going back to the question, you didn't mention. You said you had a point there, Naido. What did you say the biggest achievement Sakura had in the series?
Yeah, so that was what I was saying. Like, I think this was the biggest moment for her, the Kido fight. Like, that kind of proves that she stands with that kind of power. She takes on somebody with that power. And, Sasuke doesn't even get there in time to save her. And when he reaches there, he's like, okay, she's already
doesn't need saving.
She cleaned up the place, and I don't gotta do anything.
Okay, that's fine. What if you had to pick something from the anime?
Her biggest achievement in the anime would definitely be in the beginning of part 2 when she takes on an Akatsuki member with Lady Chiyo. I don't think anybody else has done that. Only the Jonins in part 1 took on Itachi and Kisame. Guy
Shikamaru
Akashi.
took on Hidan.
No, yeah, Shikamaru.
No, that was after Sakura versus Sasori. I'm talking about like the very beginning of part 2. Sakura does that, and she's able to defeat Sasori. Shikamaru takes on Kakuzo and Hidan, and the first time around, Asuma dies. But the second time around, Shikamaru is able to get Hidan.
Yeah.
So that's the main difference,
I got what you're
But
saying.
you could also argue though, Sakura's fight against Sasori, it wasn't a one-to-one fight. She had very big help though, in a way.
Yeah, she did.
Sasori was not alone either. He had 100 puppets.
Yeah, but that's his attack.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but Sasori was like this 32-year-old guy, and Sakura's like 15, 16, and she's like...
She didn't have enough experience.
She's not 32.
Yeah, he's 32.
Isn't he older?
Yeah, no, that's why, so Chiyo comments, she's like, he looks super young, and he looks like he was still 16, but he's 32, like, you can go check.
I think for a second he was actually older.
Oh, no, I think he was like in his
35.
30s. 35, okay.
Oh, I personally thought he was younger, but okay. Never mind.
No, it's like, I feel like Sasori was never really like the real Sasori was never revealed until the end. And this was like an S rank ninja. This was not like some random guy. It was not Hidan. I feel Hidan is not as powerful as Sasori.
No, I believe Hidan.
Deidara commented that Sasori is stronger than him.
Yeah.
Sasori is stronger than. Well, Hidan, his strength comes with his immortality. Really.
Yeah. No, I meant Deidara commented that Sasori is stronger than him. Deidara, the guy who Sasuke saw.
I mean, if you honestly think about it, if it was Sakura versus Hidan, she would have been able to finish him right then and there, because Hidan has to do the whole ritual, and Sakura would have never let him, and she would have just done the same thing that Shikamaru did to him. She would have just desiccated, and killed him.
Well,
So she just
no.
one hit.
No, I don't think it would have worked out. The thing with Shikamaru, he had time to plan because he's seen his ability. He knew what he could do, so he had the time to plan and he even picked up the spot first and everything. So it was carefully calculated. So I don't think it would have worked out the same way unless he planned ahead like that.
If Sakura was aware of Kiran's ability, then maybe there was a chance. But Shikamaru does not have brute strength. He does not have any defense mechanisms. He does not have any strength attacks. He just has his shadow possession, shadow manipulation, stuff like that.
Yeah, but he's
That's also true.
yeah, he set it up though beforehand, before the fight. He picked the place, and he just let Hidan walk into the trap.
The whole thing.
Yeah. So if it was just a fight, Shikamaru would have never beat him. I don't think.
Yeah.
Like the first time around with Asuma.
Yeah, I think unless he planned that trap beforehand, I think the same thing would have happened again, and Shikamaru would have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Shikamaru. He needs prep time.
Yeah.
Tsunade, I think, yeah, it was animated, I think.
Yeah,
That
so in the
Sakura
anime,
can-
Sakura's biggest achievement was, I think, the fight with Sasori.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you as well. I think that's the biggest achievement, which is also disappointing because that happened right at the beginning. So I don't understand why Kishimoto didn't give Sakura something else as well.
To be honest, I'm looking at the story and I'm trying to see where would that fit, and I don't see anywhere something like that fit.
I agree on what you're saying. I feel Kishimoto should have consistently shown Sakura in the background, regardless of how important she was, just the way that he used Kakashi with the other teams. But he didn't do that.
He did it in the manga. In the anime, something else. Sakura's been constantly in the manga.
Yeah, but she doesn't, do anything after the Sasori fight.
Yeah.
Depends on what you understand by anything. Because
Nothing.
Sakura's been a brainiac. In the second arc, I think, if I remember, second or third arc, when everybody's gathered to go after Sasuke, Sakura is the one who breaks down jutsus. I think it's who's called Obito's jutsu, the Kamui. She's the one who realized how Kamui works from the first try, while it took Kakashi, I don't know, 3 to 4 times.
And the ironic part is that he himself can use it.
Yeah.
Which is so funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sakura after that was more like either
I mean, they just use her, they use and show her intelligence throughout the show.
yeah.
But nobody really bothers to make anything of it.
yeah, but even if her intelligence, I mean, when I think of intelligence at Naruto, Sakura doesn't come to mind. The first person that comes to mind is Shikamaru. So she's intelligent and stuff, but her intelligence is second to Shikamaru, so you don't really consider Sakura. So there was nothing.
One of the scenes where I feel like Sakura's blamed the most is where she was not able to take down Obito's eye. And
Yeah.
I just want to say that people need to stop blaming her for that, because if